Hey everybody, welcome back. That's right, it is the final episode for the U.S.S. Iwo Jima. Been a fun, challenging, frustrating, and that finally got fit moments with this ship. It puts small parts in a new perspective for me. I'm used to working with small parts, but what hobbyboss did with all those very intricate pieces, it was phenomenal. And also some of the things that hobbyboss could have done a little bit better, but that's just between me, and that was my frustration with parts of the kit. But it was a great kit. It was a fun build. Had a lot of fun. Did a lot of things, as you guys have seen. So for this final week of the building, I turned the camera on, but a lot of times what I was doing was putting the small itty bitty pieces in. You've seen from the picture, there's a lot of little vehicles, armor, ships, boats, helicopters, equipment, forklift, that's a lot of little pieces. So I finished those off, but yeah, it was great. So like I've shown before, when I shipped this model out to my client, I've made everything. The vehicles I made where they can be removed, so they don't have to be glued on or set on the deck. The ship itself will travel it'll travel together, but in 3 or 4 different pieces sections, so it can arrive very nice and very well to my client. That's fingers crossed. You know, it is the U.S. mail. But I'm not going to keep taking away from the final video. So if you are new to my channel, click on the subscribe button, click on the little bell. Every time I upload a video, you'll be notified. Also, if there's questions that I did in this build or any of my other build videos, techniques I used, certain way I did things, or if you're having a question on maybe a build of yours, please email me at bucktmore@gmail.com, and let's chat. Let's talk away. Also, I take "Hey Buck, good job." "Hey Buck, oh, okay, that's okay. It worked for you." And then what the heck were you thinking, Buck? I put those in the comment sections. I respond within 12 to 24 hours. So enough of me chatting. Let's get to the bench and welcome the U.S.S. Iwo Jima. Good afternoon, everybody. It is Monday, and yes, I am in the studio, and I am back to work. Been working quite a bit on the Iwo Jima this morning, today actually. And there's one thing wanted to share with you guys. First off, with these deckings, be very generous, be very patient with them, man. They kick my butt. But the other thing I wanted to do, because like I separated the flight deck, there's an antenna that goes on both sides that I'm going to be able to take off. But the other thing is, I don't want to have the hangers glued. I'm only going to do like 2 positions, and I've already started it. I've drilled in just a little bit, and that way the hanger can sit there. And I have done the one side, but now I'm trying to be very careful. So maybe if I can get this over here so you can see it. Let's come in just a bit. What do we say? Okay, right there. So I have 2 holes here, and yes, I did a test on, I thought it went to the side, and I was, dang wrong about that one. So the next thing I'm doing, and I'm going to do, this is what I did to actually finally get the holes matched. I already did it on one side. So what I have done is I've taken the LED filament again, because it is really good strong metal. So I'm using that and just putting in a little bit. So as you can see, now to help me get my good marks, I'm doing black paint, just so I can get where I'm wanting to go. And then basically all I'm doing is trying not to shake, and then what that allows me to do is, you can almost see the little lines there. I might have to do it one more time. Not enough paint, or I waited too long. Okay. And again, I am just right there. And then now you can actually see the mark. If I get my big finger out of the way, you can see the marks there. So now I'll turn around and do the other side, because I haven't done that bottom side yet. And as you can see, I am being very, very methodical about moving this carrier. Yeah, it's this kit has been one of those really interesting, fun ones, and by fun I mean, oh my God, there's a lot of small parts. But it's great. It's good. I'm happy with it so far, and so is my client. He's loving it. So again, let me see if I can turn this a little bit more. And I'm trying to make oops, stairs, dang it. I think they're okay. Just making sure. And then again, all I do is I come up and I'm just putting it just about there below where the flight deck comes out. And I waited too long. Again, that's alright. Again, just come here and put those on. And now I got 2 more marks. And now I got to fix the ladders, and it's alright. I knew that was going to happen. So get my brush clean. If I don't, I'll forget, and if I forget, then I'll get mad at myself going, why didn't I clean my brush? Why did I just let it sit there and dry out? And some of my brushes I can just do water and good, it cleans them really well, but some of them I've had to learn that I gotta put use the thinner. So alright, well here we go. We're gonna come back out now. I'm gonna turn the Iwo Jima back around, and I'm going to drill these 2. And there's enough space because, you know, the well deck's there. I'm not going crazy with the drill, as you can see. I'm just lightly doing it. Okay. That should be far enough. And get on this side. Okay, and get the little scratchies out. And now the fun part of testing. So, here we go. Oh, come on now. Come on. Darn, I must have just went a little too far. Not very far, but far enough, I guess. Okay, and there we have that flight deck on now. Or that hangar, you know, the elevator. So, yay! And when I ship this to my client, that way I can take those off and have them packed separate and not worry about everything being right here and then bam, crush. So, alright guys, well I'm going to get back at it. And I'll come back when I have more to share. Well guys, here I am back with the Iwo Jima, getting ever closer, and I thought I practiced on this side and I wanted to show you a little bit on this side. I'm putting on the lifeboats, and sorry for the camera angle, but I have this sticky pencil, which is a big help, and then I have all my other craft over here, and I was going to share one with you. Just got to find the right one. Okay. So the easiest way I found out, and probably the best way, is this pencil. And I tried the tweezer approach, and trust me, it sucks. So I take a bit of my CA glue, and I put it on the toothpick and wipe it there. Then I will grab my piece, and now I will sit it on there and let the glue do the work. No touch, no muss, no fuss. And yay, there we go. So I'm going to keep doing it down, because now I got to start over here. So I'll do one more with you guys. Okay, and you are going to be a 3 also. Okay. And I don't put any of the parts that I'm using my pencil on that lovely foam, because there's just no give. There's a little bit, but not enough to hold the piece so I can get it stuck. So again, I just do a little bit of CA, and then very carefully I put, and sometimes that happens, so I have to get my tweezers out here a little bit. I'm going to take it off. I'm going to try it again. some people say, well, why don't you just do this before you put these on? And the hard thing is because putting those rails up like that, I tried to do it with all these lifeboats and everything, and they would all just fail. So, all right, there we go. And then I'll just use this just to kind of push it into place. And look, it dropped. So, again, so what that told me is I waited too long. So, I will put some more glue on. I will grab this guy, flip him over again, and do it again. And like I said, it's because I turned the camera on. So, come on. Darn thing. I tell ya. Okay. There we go. Okay, done. Alright guys, well I'm going to get back at it, and I'll come back when I have more done. Alright, back to the U.S.S. Iwo Jima. And like I said in my update, I did do work. Didn't turn the camera on very much, but I thought I'd better show you before I really get going on anything else. So, I need to grab a set of tweezers. So the first thing I'm doing, and I'm going to share this down the line, is I am, not down the line, but I'm going to show you how I'm doing it, is I have, come on now, it's a little tight, I'm going to have to wobble it out. I have added the metal piece, so these can be removed, so I'm going to have to wobble that out. But show you what I have done. Lifeboats are definitely, I got to fix some, but that's okay. So I can take that off, and we can look on the inside, and I'll give you a better view because I wanted you to see the side of the ship. The other thing I did decide to do, and because it's being shipped, I'm making as much separate piece and get put together when it gets to the client, because this is a very delicate and crazy model. So I can remove the ship, and I will set the ship down gently there. Also, I can remove the, give me a second, sorry guys. Ah, come on. It's easier, trust me. Okay. I can remove that. I'm going to have to sand those down a little bit. But what I did is I put those metal pieces, that metal rod, and I drilled and measured and put so I can send as many pieces separate as I can, and the client can just put them in. And so that's what I got done. A lot of what I got done. The island is done. Like I said, I'm going to have to wallow out those holes, but go ahead and just put this back in for now. Okay. Then the lovely ship. So come on now. There we go. Then the flight deck. And there we go. So that is, I'm very happy with what's going on so far, and yes, I can put the elevators in. But let me get the camera reset up, and let me show you how I'm doing the vehicles and the aircraft, how to make them removable and ship separate. So give me a few minutes, and I'll be right back. Before I get started on the other, putting in those pieces I was going to tell you about, I wanted to show you this. So got to do some touch up, but that's okay. I can deal with that. But I did get the hovercraft done, and I glued the vehicles in. Also the same with this lovely lady. Also, I did. I was testing it out yesterday and making sure I was liking it. And I do have I have a few already done. Aircraft, the helicopters, the forklifts, Humvees, crane, trucks. So I started working on it, and let me zoom that in if that is not clear enough. Hold on a second. Okay, that's better. Alright, so like I said, I started working with them yesterday. So it's not too hard, and really it's not hard at all. I thought about using a resistor, you know, like I did the other time, you know, just cutting a little bit of the bar or the metal off the resistor. But the problem is this is so flexible, so malleable, that if you keep pulling in and out, then it's going to end up bending. So what I did do is I have lots of LEDs. So what I did is I take, and I've shown this to you before, guys, but I'll show you again. I take and I trim off one of the leads. So like this is positive, and the positive is always longer, so you never mix them up. So I'm going to make sure I got that at a good angle, and then I will come here and clip the negative lead and push the bulb over there so I can use it. And then what I did, what I did is I didn't really, I'm eyeballing them, because I might have to trim a little bit later on certain ones. But basically that's all I do, is I just come in here and I cut a decent length, and I'm not, like I said, I'm just eyeballing. So there we go. So I just cut those, and then I have my micro drill bit that I use to get started. Let's do a Harrier. So at this point, you got to be gentle, and all I do is I find pretty good center, and let's see if I can, because I got to hold it with my hands. Sometimes it's easier said than done, as you can tell. And I'm just lightly going in. Let's do one that you can actually see and go with. Alright, so we'll do the Osprey. Now with the kits that you have to glue the piece like this, I'm finding it's easier to offshoot just a little bit, because if you go down in that center, you're, depending on how good the glue is, or even if it's glued well, you'll end up snapping. So I go off, and all I'm doing, as you can see, I'm not putting hardly any pressure against any of it, and I'm just drilling down, letting the drill do the work, and bring it out so I can clean it every now and again, because I'm just being gentle, slow. I'm not trying to do this very quick. And you'll start feeling as it goes down, you might get a grab, and it might drop a little bit. That means you're at that point where you want to be. And what I mean is there's those hollow spots when you put the pieces together, the inside, there's a little bit of that hollow, so that's just what I'm waiting for, is just to see how far. And it's not going to be a very big drop either. And as you see, you got to keep cleaning. So there we go. Okay, I felt it drop. Good, good. So now what I'm going to do is I have a piece of just scrap styrene here. I put a little bit of my CA on there. I don't do a whole lot because sometimes it takes a while to work, so I want a little drop for a little drop, you know, for a little piece, and because they'll start tacking up here soon. So then I just dip that in to my CA, and I put it into the hole I made, pre-made, and then I just kind of slowly look at it, kind of judge it, make sure it's, I'll turn it so I can make sure it's going down straight enough for me, and look at the side. So there is that one done. Yay! So now I get to do the rest of these and more of the vehicles. So I'm going to get back at it, guys, and I'll come back when I have more to share. Well, good afternoon, everyone, and coming to the end. And really, by the end, it means I'm finished except for a little bit of dusting and then getting packed up. But the U.S.S. Iwo Jima is done. I mean, I got one more piece to glue on, but I'll take care of that later. What I wanted to share with you, because I didn't do a whole lot because there was just all these little pieces. I showed you what I did for the base and how I did the vehicles and all that. What I didn't share with you, and I apologize, is I went through and I have drilled holes all on the flight deck, in the elevators, and then I've drilled holes down into some of these sections so the client can be able to, you know, display it how he wants. So what I did with these guys is I made the landing craft, the kind of the focal point to seeing the ship. So sorry, I'm just trying not to make sure you don't break everything. So let me get some things moved out. Let me get these guys moved real quick, because God knows I would be mad if I broke those. So, and it's not that, I just try not to, come on now, where are you? There you are. It's that antenna right there that I'm being careful of, because that's also just sitting on there. So then the other hovercraft's going to go right there, and I'm not going to mess with that right now. But what I did want to share with you guys is kind of show you what I mean. So the client will be able to, you know, put certain things on here like that, and let's do this one. And yes, I am being extremely gentle. Trust me on that. And then I just turn it around as it needs to. So there's that, and then there's the Harriers and the Ospreys. And so the client will be able to do the Ospreys any way they want, or, you know, like this, the Harrier. Just put you in there, and then twist you around. So I can do that, and then, and so forth with all the other pieces of equipment. Now, going inside of the ship, be very careful. Taking you off. Okay. And put you right there. Now I did the same thing inside here, and let me see if I can get that a little closer for you. Maybe. Let me get some things moved out of the way real quick, guys. Sorry. I'm just being gentle. Go ahead and put him back on where he goes. And okay. Now the reason I did that so I could zoom in for you guys so you could actually see what I'm talking about. So let's zoom out a minute. Okay, so you can see I have sporadic holes in the deck, in the well deck, in the hangar deck. So I can do things, you know, just trying to think of an easy one to show real quick. You know, let's go with the Osprey. It's pretty easy. So like if, you know, he wanted to put some items in here, he could, you know, put the Ospreys or anything actually in here, and, you know, could work on it. I mean, you can tell the scale's kind of different, but, and then on, let's just say down in the well deck, you know, the client could, you know, just do that, put like a tank or something in there, and the other vehicles, and that's basically it, guys. I mean, this was a fun build, very fun build. Very taxing some days because of all the small pieces, but hey, that's what goes on. But hey, yeah, check it out. So now let me get things moved, let me get things put back together, moved around, and I'll get you a better view instead of on top, going this way. So, alright guys, I'll be right back. Alright guys, well, now I got it down, the camera moved right, so forgive me for bouncing, but I thought I'd show you more of the side profile of the ship and those guys, but just to show you. I'm sorry if I'm bouncing. Have the camera in hand, and then we'll go up here to this part of the flight deck. And now, I remember I did make the well deck, like I said. I made those doors removable for the client, so if you wanted to, you could do that. And then here we go onto this side, and there we go. So it has been a fun, it's been a great journey. I mean, this puts new meaning into 1/700 kit, but it was fun, it was frustrating, but I really enjoyed it. I know my client loves it. So with that, guys, for the final time, so everybody have a great, safe, and awesome weekend. Also have a great, safe, and awesome work week next week. And I'll guys see you back here on the bench.